Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut, and Mike Kelly is not going to be here today. He is in some board meetings down at the CAR convention, and it's all me. So you get full Ed Parcaut, 100% today. All right, and this is Real Estate Jerky Daily. We do this Monday through Friday at 8:30 in the morning live, and then we turn it into a podcast afterwards. And I want to thank everybody. If you could just go over and hit that subscribe button for me right now, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, not a ton of news out today. Next week's going to be a major week. We got CPI, all those things that are happening. Is it CPI? What I could be wrong. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. We are going to have, let's see what we're going to have. We're going to have, because that's important to know. We're going to have, no, we're going to have PCE on Friday. That's right, which is the Fed's favorite thing. So that's going to be a major market move. This week, we didn't have, today's not a lot of news. We've had a lot of news this week, so I want to go back through it if it's okay with you. Sure, go ahead, Ed. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys giving me that opportunity. First, I want to talk about the Fed didn't, let's see, you got a comment over here. Well, hello to you too. Thank you. Have a good day. Let's go back to this. All right. We know the Fed came out and they said they're going to pause, right? That was a major thing. Then the market took it in the shorts, and we were in the last 2 days. That was been real great. The Financial Times came out with an article. They did a survey of 40 economists, 40 economists. 90% of them, the economists, they said that the Fed will have to do more than what right now. I think, and 50% of them expect a 25% rate hike, and 35 anticipate 2 more rate hikes. If you look at the market is saying, okay, there's a 50% chance of a hike in November. What am I getting at with this? This is self-inflicted where we're at right now with what the Fed has to do. Has to do with spending in our government and what they keep spending on, and keep spending money and won't stop spending. And this will not get under control until that stops. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to get political. All right. Freddie Mac's, they did a mortgage survey. They looked at where the rates were, and they said for a 30% down rate, it averaged 7.19% as of, this is Fannie Mae. This is not me quoting a rate. This is Fannie Mae stating that the average rate, if you did 20% down on a 30-year loan, was 7.9% as of September 21st, which is up from last week of 7.18. So it did tick up a little bit. This is something, I thought rates were so much better last year at this time. No, we were at 6.29. So we are a point higher right now than we were last year at this time, which is not a major issue. The major issue is when we went from 3 to 6 and then to 7. That's the biggest issue. So if you look at where we're at right now with everything, this is where we're going to be for a while. And don't think it's going to, go anywhere soon. And this is where we're going to be here for a while. You have to understand that. Listings are going to be a lot, existing home sales are not going to be as great. That's just what's going to happen, because people who are selling right now have to sell, and that's 35% of the market, and that's kind of where we're at. So that's death, divorces, and job transfers. I talked to one of my clients yesterday, moving to Georgia, and I didn't think he was going to get out of the new home sales, but he did. All right. So, and again, inventory, we talked about this before. Everybody's talking about how great it was last week. They increased by 9,470 nationwide, which is not that big of a deal because it went up to 518,000. But if you look at a year, the same time last year, it's at 552,000. What does that really mean? Looking at the inventory and where we're at. Well, if we keep going the way we're going, this will be the fifth time or sixth time since we've gotten above 4 million homes nationwide on the market or sold nationwide. We normally do over 4 million homes nationwide a year. We're going to be underneath that again this year if we keep going the way we're going. And if you look at the charts, I looked at it this morning before I came in, and we've only been there since we hit it a few times. And that was back in 2011. And then if you look at the numbers we had in 2005, there was a lot of transactions at that time. So if you look at existing home sales, moved lower in August, which we kind of know that, fell another 0.7% to annualized rate of 404 million. Existing home sales were down. If you look at year over year, that's another 15% we're down. So that means we had another 180,000 homes for sale last year at this time. That's we it's just the existing inventory, and then the only thing we can make up with is new home sales. And if you look, new home sales were lower last month, even though the starts were higher, and that's kind of where we're looking at new homes. So they were saying 2023 is going to be the first year since 2011 when annual existing home sales come in at below 4.5 million. That's huge. People don't realize how huge that is. Existing single family permits were accelerated the fastest since 2022, but that has nothing to do with the actual houses being started. That has to do with permits. I think they're just getting ready for it. One of the biggest issues they're having with the new home sales, creating the new homes and building that whole thing out is getting we talked about earlier this week, electric transformers. It's a shortage. It's impending the grid expansion. It's issues with new homes. The wait time is usually a month or so. Now it's a year, and then the prices are quadrupling. So there's, so a lot of the housing that was going to get going, these projects that were going, they're being canceled. They're not being put on hold. They're just besides being delayed, most of them are going to be being canceled. What does that mean? We're going to have less homes going forward. House values are going to continue to rise. They're not going to go down. There are two main issues that we have with the transformers is because we don't have that key material that they need in them here in the United States. We have to get it outside of the country, or we're not producing it in the United States. We have to get it from outside of the country. So they're trying to bring up the Defense Production Act to help produce it here. All right. What did I miss? Because I know I had more to talk about. Anyway, what's this? All right. Let's go back over here. That's right. All right. So inventory, housing, existing home sales. I did all that. Starts. All right. So what we're going to look at is going forward. We're going to be here a little bit. They're thinking that I read an article yesterday that the recession is going to hit in December, January, because of the inverted yield curve. But nobody really knows. We've never been here before where government keeps spending and the inflation is going through the roof. Even 1973 wasn't this bad. And the other issues, we have the gas issue going forward right now. It's getting more and more expensive. And that's just things that are affecting home sales. No one thought we'd be here. I didn't think we'd be here. And, I knew rates couldn't stay as low as they were. I knew they'd move up, but I didn't think they'd move up to this. I didn't think inflation would go this bad and where they'd have to do this. But then again, if you thinking it and then actually reading it and seeing stuff, I can see why we're here. And it won't stop until we stop spending this. And the other issue is think about how many migrants have come to the United States in the last 2 years alone, over 5 million of them. That puts an issue on renting places and other stuff because you got more families trying to get in other places. I just don't know how to get out of this. Well, I do know how to get out of this, but I'm not trying to get political right now. Anyway, next week, we're going to have Case-Shiller. Wednesday is going to be durable good orders. Thursday's initial jobless claims. Thursday's always initial jobless claims. And then Friday is a PCE, which is going to show where we are with inflation. And if that comes in hot, we think it's going to come the cores. I mean, the main number is going to be hotter and the core is going to come in line because with the energy prices going up right now. All right. That's all I had for today. Mike will be back on Monday and our bantering will continue. And everybody make it a great day. Have a great weekend. And I appreciate you. And thanks for being here.